Hello friends, welcome back to Excel VB tutorial. In this video, I'll talk about error handling in VB. So what is error handling in VB? Error handling is an important aspect of programming in Visual Basic application to handle runtime errors. So there are two types of error in VB. One is compile time error. So when you write any code, so while writing any code, if you make mistakes, so it will be highlighted by the editors because editor will detect that error and it will be shown in red color, right? So you can go ahead and correct that error. But what about runtime errors? So this is something which occurs when you run a program. So in order to handle these type of error, we will introduce error handling techniques. So we'll talk about error handling techniques now. So there are mainly four types of error handling technique. One is on error resume next. This is one of the simplest technique or statement. If you anticipate any error and it does not impact your code, so you can ignore that error by using on error resume next. The other type of error is on error go to level. So this statement redirects the flow of execution to be specified level in the code when error occurs. So suppose any error occurs. So if you want to highlight that error and give a user some sort of information through some description or message box or other things, so you can use this. The third one is on error go to zero. So when any error occurs and you handle that error, so if you want to neutralize that error further in your program, so if you want to turn it off, so you can use on error go to zero so that previous error handler can be neutralized. Error dot raise, this method allowed to raise an error manually. So this is very useful when you test your error handlers. I have declared three integers here, xyz. X value is 10, y is 0, and here is an error like x divided by y. That is, this is invalid mathematical operations, right? Any number be divided by 0, right? In programming. So if you run this, so you will get an error number 11. So this is error number 11, right? So if you think this error is not having much impact in your program and you want to ignore that error, so you can use simply on error resume next. If this type of error occurs, so you wanna ignore that, so you will not get that. So now if you run it, perfectly fine, there is no error. Suppose there is another error. I'm just selecting one sheet like xyz and this sheet does not exist, but in my program, I mean there are a lot of times when you are working in an input file or sometimes your stakeholder is not sending you input file with this, the sheet which you want to work in. So suppose you are selecting that, so what will happen, it will ignore this error as well because I have written on error resume next. So this error can be ignored, but this error is something where you want to write some other code as well. Suppose you want to manipulate this sheet, you want to work on those sheets, and you want this error to be highlighted so that you can go ahead and check whether the sheet exists or not. If not, so you can ask somebody to create it and send it. Suppose this is an input file, right? So you want to highlight that this sheet does not exist, right? So first you have to neutralize this error on error. That means you want this error to be highlighted. So now this error is getting highlighted. So you get the further you have neutralized this error. How you neutralize this error? I tell you how. You press Ctrl G, you will see error dot number 11, error number 11, right? And this error is different. It has different description, right? So if I use this on error go to 0, so it will neutralize this error now. So you will not see any error number here. So if you see, if you click here, so you'll see 0. Again there will be another error, but this has a different number because this type of error is different, like out of range. That is a 9, error number 9. If you look at here, so these are the two different kind of error. But in previous example, if I don't use on error go to 0, so that means this on error resume next is ignoring this error also. But we don't want to ignore this. We want to highlight it to the customer. Your program is anticipating that this sheet exists, right? So what we will write on that, on error go to error handler. Error handler name could be anything. It's now I want to exit sub. If this error does not occur, so you want to exit it further, right? And now you will put that, please check sheet name, and even further you can put error description as well. If I close it, if I run it, please check sheet name. This is the message I've given, and the script out of range is this error description is giving us, right? You can see message box is, it is not showing any message box after that, but I want to show that message box, right? Able to, now I want to, after this error I want to resume this level so that I can run this program further. Okay, this error handle I've used resume. The moment I use resume, so this error which occurs, when this error occurs, so see the error number, control G, error number 9 after message box, and then see error number 9 again. If I hit resume next, resume level, now you'll see error number 0, because the moment you use resume, so it also turn off that error, just like on error go to 0, and then it will execute further program, like I want to show matches box. So these are the simple technique of error handling. So this is a small example, but so when you are working on a very large program, so these type of techniques come handy. Thanks for watching this video. If you think this video is helpful for you, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.